reason for me to take this session is, like each individual, each youth can take actions towards environmental conservation. So that's what my agenda is. So to start the session with, like, I want your responses, to know about yourself. Have you ever participated in any environmental conservation activity? It's just, to know whether you have, participated or not. You can use the chat box to respond. Do you feel that you participated in any environmental conservation activity? Yes, no, or you don't know? Okay. So next slide. We can just go like, I saw one response. Yeah. Next one. So like basically what environmental governance says, there are certain sections of, rules, practices and policies, and some sort of institutions which are available. And that shapes like how humans can interact with the environment. So that is really important. So we ourselves don't know, like as a human being, our day-to-day actions, we don't know whether are we really, participating in a conservation activity or not. So when it comes to governance, there are five elements we need to focus on. The five elements of nature: space, earth, water, air, and fire. So these five elements that determines like how we interact with the environment. So coming to in Indian government scenario, I just want to throw some light on it. How development is happening, how development is happening in our country. So initially, like after the independence, we don't have a proper ministry, or we don't have a department to work for the environmental conservation. So it all started on 1972 by the setting up of Central Pollution Control Board, and then it goes on like we need to have an environmental laws on water in 1974, and then in our constitution, so they have amended an article in 1976. It says, the duty of every citizen of India to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, wildlife, and to have a compassion for living creatures. So this is what it is important. So I this thing that each individual youth should be knowing. So it is the duty of every citizen of India. We have to protect and improve the natural environment. So to the environmental perspective has, come into our country even after like 2 3 decades independence only. So after that, in 1980 only, we have a Department of Environment. It came out, and then in 1981, air and forest conservation laws. So these things happen. I would like to say that these things happens because we are facing environmental problems. We are not realizing the part and parcel of, nature. Like Pooja ma'am replied that, she is not in a position to say that, okay, no, I have never participated. So this presentation is going to tell you all about how you can participate and how each individual can make a difference. So when it comes to these issues and gaps, even after these many laws and these many governance, modalities had come out, so we need to know the development is still happening without including perspectives of environment. So we need to know how our society is developing from village to urban, and we don't know what are the perspectives of environment in the development. And if you look at the scenario of there are water resources and there are forests and all, there is no proper definition for a lake or a pond. And if you look into forest, there is no demarcation. The boundaries are not mentioned clearly. So there are a lot of things are there. I would like to say, I think most of the participants are like Tamil, I heard. So, like, if you want me to proceed in Tamil, I mean, I can talk. So, I just want to say this one thing, like I mentioned, the five elements of nature. So most of them I work on this water resources. So that's where I worked upon. So I want to tell the scenario of in Chennai's encroachment. What happened during Chennai floods was is the poor management of water resources. So that is the major reason I wanted to address. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
So now you can, yes, now, yeah, yeah. The
I can hear
Adambakam
you.
Lake.
Yes.
The next one, next one. Show me the satellite image one.
Yes. It's a bit slow here.
Okay. Okay. So now you can see, I don't know how many of you are using Google Earth. So if you see this image has been taken from Google Earth, so you can see the lake, the Adambakam Lake in 2000. Can you see like a very, broad lake and with greeneries and all? Let's move on to next slide. Next slide, please.
Yeah. This one?
Yeah. Now you can see in 2009 what happened. Like 2009, 2009 one, previous one, and then this. Yes, you can see what happens was the encroachment of lake was happening. Now you can see before 2009 only. Okay, now after that you can see what happened during Varda cyclone and Chennai floods is that the nature will find its own way. So that's what it is. So if you encroach a particular lake, what happens? The problems that we are going to face, and it is going to be like we don't have a proper water recharging mechanism, and we need to face a lot of water shortages. I mean, people from Chennai would have known that what are the problems they are facing during summers. Even last year and last to last year there are severe water shortages over there. So what I'm trying to say is that development is happening, and without including the perspectives of environment, that we as a citizen, we as an individual youth, we should be knowing this. Next one. So, so I am going to tell why youth participation, like compared to the world, like the all the countries in the world, like India's population is youngest, and if you see the median age in India, it will be like 22 years by 2022. Other countries like USA and Japan, you have like 37 and 49. So, the youth should be imparted like those skills, like imparting this environmental and conservation skills is an indispensable need. So they should be knowing, if you are not participating in the in the conservation activity, it is going to create a big difference. So that's my humble request for everyone to participate in your day-to-day life. And coming to the youth development index, and if you see in youth development index, Tamil Nadu ranked only 7th position. So, because I'm like the audience of Tamil, I wanted to highlight where Tamil Nadu currently stands now. The youth civic participation, where it stands as 7th position. So it's a need for youth to participate. Next one. So this is like a question I prepared. So can you answer this question? Protecting environment is mentioned in which part of the Constitution? It's fundamental rights or fundamental duties or both? Just wanted to check you are all active. Can I have a response? Protecting environment is mentioned in, okay, fundamental rights. Okay. I think I'm okay, fundamental duties. Okay, nice. So basically like what I've covered was it's mentioned in fundamental duties, but one thing I haven't mentioned about this fundamental rights also, it is both actually. So it is mentioned in both. Yeah, next slide. So I just want to share my story. So basically, what I have done, like in the initial stage of to restore a pond or lake from my master's. So I just want to share this so that like it is not a Herculean task that no one can do it. So I would request each one can become an environmental leader, even if they are not even if they know if they don't become an environmental leader, or at least they can make a difference in our day to day life. So what I have done was like do the research and mapping of water bodies, and you need to see like every water body has a story. So you have to go and visit a village or a peri-urban or urban city. So you just go towards the water resource. It can be a pond, it can be a lake. So you observe it. So what is the current status now? So that's what I have done, and I interacted with the village people and started to know like what is the indigenous knowledge mechanism which has been followed throughout the period. So and then we made a resolution, like we identified certain points needs to be restored, and then we made a resolution grams about that certain points needs to be restored, and then the scientific restoration part started with the collaboration from district officials and with the help of an NGO. Next one. So you can see this is the initial stage of restoration, where you can see the picture looks like there is no pond exists there. You can all see it just like a huge dump. You can see, but there is no scope of seeing the pond. But if you just go in person and then observe, you can able to see. And this is what happens like after like uh, so this is what happened. Dewatering and desiltation is two techniques that has been used to restore the pond. Dewatering is to remove all that dirty water, and then it has been there like for a period of time. So that has been removed, and the silt has also been removed. So the next one. Now you can see what happens. This is after the restoration. You can see the pond filled with water. So that's how an youth can a youth can make a difference. So that's what I was trying to say. So you can be a warrior. You can be a volunteer to do a particular environmental conservation activity. Next one. You can see this satellite imagery. This was taken during 2016 before the intervention. You can see the white dots. Can you all able to see in the middle of it? So these are all the wastage has been dumped over there, and you can see the ponds were shrunken. You can see the size of the ponds were shrunken, and it has been poorly maintained. And next one, you can see after the restoration, what is the status of the pond that you can see. You can see clearly see the ponds, the demarcated, the boundary has been demarcated, and all this dumping of this plastic waste has been removed. Can you able to see the difference in both? So that's how you can make a difference. Next one. This is another. This is a channel. It's a river channel. It's one of the Adayar River channel. It's called Sikana channel. You can say. So here also you can see there has been no the channel has been not visible over there. So the next picture you can see what happened like after the restoration. You could see the clear cut demarcation. So that's what happens. Like the water bodies has been encroached and it has been dumped. So like the flow of water changes and flooding occurs. So that's how our environment is polluted and creating a lot of environmental nuisance to the people. Next one. So I just want to say, like, what are the ways that a youth can participate? Like you can say, like, it can be in three ways, like at home, at college, or community. And before that, like, how there are certain principles that you need to follow. Like for environmental sustainability, you need to rethink in the sense if you're going to buy certain products to the market, you just go and see and do. For example, if you're buying like some sort of like 5 kg of rice and no, the previous one, the 5 kg of rice, yes. So if you're buying that and that person is giving you in a plastic bag, so that you need to think of it like how this plastic bag is going to pollute, the polythene bag is going to pollute, so you need to rethink. So before going to buy something, you need to rethink whether should I buy or not. On certain things you have to refuse. For example, you can go to your friend's house or like somebody's like friends or relatives or something, like they are giving you some sort of drink to you, and then they're giving some sort of straw to drink juice or apple juice or something. You need to refuse certain things. I need to refuse. So that's how you need to follow these 5 R's, like rethink, refuse, and reduce, and reuse and recycle. I don't want to define other three things. So you will be able to understand if you follow these 5 R's formula, so you can able to contribute for environmental sustainability. Next one. So at home you can do like you need to think like we don't analyze like where is the water resource. how much is our water requirement every day. So these things you need to know, like what all things you can do. Like main thing is like while washing utensils or while bathing, you can avoid shower. So and things like that, you can reduce water usage. There are various ways are there. And for example, all the your kitchen waste and other waste, you can do this kitchen gardening. You can use that, so you can grow your own food. And in this composting thing, that like what to say, I mean, you can avoid a lot of waste, which is acting as a resource at your home itself. So you can segregate those waste and you can give it to them. And these are like UGC guidelines are there. So I thought like many of them were college students and professors were there. So I thought these guidelines might be useful, that every institution should be ban of plastic use. So these are just instructions. So you can go for alternative solutions like cloth bags and paper bags. So like instead of using plastic bottles, cars, and other goods. So in your day to day lives, you can do that. At college level participation, like through eco clubs or NSS, and there is a program called Unnat Bharat Abhiyan program, where students and professors can go to a particular village and then to observe the environmental problems over there, and they can come up with their own solution. It all happens with the collaboration only. So at the community level, what you can do is like I said, like you can just go and visit the surroundings, and you find your interest area, whether you want to work in water, sorry, air, or in land. So whatever it is, you can find your interest area, and then based on that, you can come up with your own solution. Or else you could participate in a lot of volunteering activities. There are a couple of good NGOs are there. You can volunteer, and you can do some sort of research. Like I would request the college students in their dissertation or in their projects, you could think of the project which is going to help your environment. So this is also important, even in the research aspects. The conservation should be needed. So in that way you can do. And apart from that, once you start doing that, you will be at my level. Like you can create awareness generation, and you can sensitize people, like how I'm sharing these my experiences to you. You could do that. And this is just a question, like we can skip it. It's not a important one, we can skip it. So yeah, basically that's it. I've done, like I've been asked to wind up the session quickly. I would like to take some questions. You could write to me as well, like, or you can visit our page as well. This is our Facebook page. You can visit this. And yeah, any questions, I'm happy to answer.